Hello and welcome back to the Duke Studios here in Geneva. I am joined once again by Bill Zeeb to discuss successful project execution. So Bill, welcome back to the studios.
Thank you, Jessica. It's again great to be here.
So Bill, tell me, what are the most important aspects for successful project execution?
This is really the fun part where the ideas and the vision start getting turned into cash. And getting project execution right depends a lot on leadership and the culture of a company. And having a rhythm and having a set of rigorous toll gates where the project sponsors, supported by some expert masters, are making sure that the necessary prerequisites are addressed is really important. So toll gates is one, and getting these to not just be checking the boxes, but to be thinking exercises.
So what role does coaching and the frequency of coaching play in success?
This is an interesting question because a lot of people have done continuous improvement without a lot of coaching. Others have received a lot of coaching, but when coaching comes as a push, it's often not so well received. Our experience is that if we can establish an environment where coaching is pulled, where the project leader is sending as many as 120, 130 emails to his coach almost on a daily basis with small questions and accelerating the learning, this is where coaching becomes really powerful. This can happen over the phone, by Skype, face-to-face, by sharing data files. There's many ways to collaborate today.
And Bill, tell me, are there any best practices to address large and small projects?
This is a really good point to focus on. Small projects are really ideal for trying to solve quickly and rapidly early in a continuous improvement deployment using Kaizen events and having teams full-time on the shop floor or in the back office. The multiple generation project plan that we see behind us is one of the most powerful tools our teams encountered to help break up big projects. When I say big projects, I talk about projects that last longer than 6 months, perhaps over several years. John Kennedy defined going to the moon as a very large project back in the early 60s. And he said, I want to get a man to the moon before the decade's out. Let's go through, in terms of sending a man to the moon, how the multi-generation project plan works. It was actually a tool developed by NASA back then. Basically, what we know at the beginning what the outcome is at the end. We know we want to send several men to the moon and bring them home alive. And this is really important. You have to have your strategic long-term objectives clear when you begin a multi-generation project plan. In this case, we had that, and many times in continuous improvement, we can also have that same situation. Now we see in the second column on the left where it says Generation 1 Mercury, we see what happened the first 6 Mercury flights. And those were suborbital flights, so not leaving the orbit of the Earth, and we were sending people out and bringing them back alive, and they were staying out there up to a day and a half, basically. But we knew that we were going to need very powerful rockets to send men to the moon, so the investment in rockets and the investment in life support systems was much higher in this early phase than it would have normally been, because we knew we were going to reuse those. In Gemini, the situation continued. We needed life support systems that would last for weeks. We needed docking systems that would allow the astronauts to go out of the spacecraft with a docking door. And we knew we'd be reusing spacesuits and docking equipment later on. These are just a few examples. This replication happened throughout the 3 generations. So much more was invested in the docking and the spacesuits in Gemini than if we had just said we need to do that mission. By the time we got to Apollo, we were building on the earlier knowledge. What we had learned from rockets in Mercury, what we had learned from docking stations and spacesuits in Gemini, all flowed in to make the Apollo missions go that much faster, delivering the final value of having a man on the moon faster than we would have if we had done each one individually without knowing the end. So this same principle works extremely well in continuous improvement. Our team's been really blessed to help a lot of teams get over the hurdle of investing more early to have more cash benefits sooner. I hope this has helped. In this series, we've tried to share our very best learnings over the last decades across thousands of projects, and I hope this has been helpful for the audience, and I look forward to our next encounter.
Fantastic. Well, Bill, thank you so much for sharing your expertise, and I hope our audience have enjoyed.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. For all the latest Ducoscopy updates, do keep clicking back. Goodbye for now.